Darling, TikTok is on fire with videos of Chinese manufacturers revealing that they produce for the biggest fashion brands in the world. Your Hermès bag that cost the price of a popular car just came out of a container in China, and you think, this is a scandal? I, Duchess Dollars, will clarify this situation with all my wisdom as someone who was born to be rich. Everyone is shocked because they just discovered that the Made in France label might be the only part of the product that actually set foot on French soil. Darling, welcome to the world of global business. This is watered-down capitalism. Or did you really think there was a French gentleman named Louis personally sewing your bag in Paris? These revealing videos show factories in China producing bags identical to those from Hermès, Louis Vuitton, Dior, and other luxury brands for a fraction of the price. They display the same materials, the same leather suppliers, the same processes. A bag that costs $38,000 in the store costs about $1,400 to produce. Does that shock you? Well, it should educate you. Now, let us clarify something important. What differentiates a luxury brand from a common brand? It is much more than just the product, darling. I will explain to you with the authority of someone who has already spent the GDP of a small country on shopping. First, let us talk about quality. Yes, many pieces are produced in China, but under strict quality control. Luxury brands maintain very high standards even when they outsource production. The difference between an authentic Hermès bag and a replica is not just the logo. It is the selection of materials, the precision of the finishes, the durability. My Chanel bag from 2010 still looks new, while that fast fashion brand bag you bought last year is already fraying at the handles. Second point, history and design. Brands like Dior and Chanel do not just sell products, they sell tradition, creative innovation, and legacy. They invest millions in design, trend research, and creative development. That iconic model did not come from nowhere. It was carefully thought out by a team of visionary designers. Third, and perhaps most important, luxury is a complete experience. When you buy a piece from Louis Vuitton, you are not just taking a product. You are entering an exclusive world. It is the VIP events, the private launches, the connections you make, the personalized service. My husband, Mr. Millionaire, always tells me, Duchess, some people buy bags, but we buy access. And he is right. Last week, I went to an exclusive Dior event in New York where I met 3 potential new business partners. That connection is worth much more than the $5,000 I paid for the bag. Additionally, darling, many of these luxury brands have sustainability programs, preservation of artisanal techniques, and social responsibility. Yes, they still make huge profits, but they also contribute to preserving traditions and crafts that could disappear. So why do I, Duchess Dollars, who have known all this for years, continue to buy luxury pieces even knowing they may be manufactured in China? Because I can, darling. Because I understand the real value behind the product. And because I deserve the complete experience. And because, let us be honest, I love being recognized for what I wear. It is like a passport to the world of the rich, a silent language that communicates status. Now, this does not mean that you who are watching this video and have not yet become rich should do the same. That is the crucial point, my love. If you are sacrificing rent to buy a designer bag, you are being foolish. If you are splitting a piece into 18 payments just to impress others, you are on the path to eternal poverty. Luxury is only luxury when you can pay for it without compromising your basic needs and investments. And here goes a truth that bothers many people. It is much better to have an original piece from an accessible brand than an imitation of a luxury brand. This story of inspired does not fool anyone, darling. Everyone knows it is fake, and you look desperate trying to appear as something you are not. My friend Jessica, who has money but not as much as I do, almost had a collapse when she saw these videos from China. She called me crying because she spent the value of an apartment on her bag collection. Do you know what I said? Jess, did you buy these bags because you could or because you wanted to impress others? She hung up on me. The truth hurts, does it not? The logo does make a difference, but only when you can honestly pay for it and understand what you are buying. The logo carries the value of the brand, the history, the exclusivity. It is not just a symbol for others to see, it is a commitment to certain values and standards. Let us talk about this trade war between China and the United States that has exposed all of this. It is fascinating to see how geopolitical tensions end up revealing the behind the scenes of the luxury industry. European brands are in panic now that the world has discovered their secrets. Did you know that many of these same factories in China also produce for department store brands? The difference is in the selected materials, quality control, and of course that golden little logo that makes your heart beat faster. The Chinese manufacturer who showed the Hermès style bag probably is not using the same Togo leather from France that the original brand uses. They show the process, but the materials are not always identical. And it is not just in the fashion world. That Dior makeup you love might come from the same factory that produces more accessible cosmetics, but the formula, pigments, and durability are not the same. The $150 Lululemon legging that costs $6 to make, the fabric and technology behind it are unique, even if the basic construction is similar to a common legging. But this does not justify absurd prices. Some brands really abuse our vanity. The difference between cost and final price is often disproportionate to the real added value. That is where you need to be smart. As I always say to my little dog Chanel while having my morning coffee at 10 a.m., because waking up early is for the poor. True luxury is having freedom of choice. I can choose between buying a brand name bag or investing the same value in stocks. I can decide if it is worth paying for the name or if I prefer something more discreet and efficient. Mr. Millionaire always taught me that true wealth is not what you buy, but the options you have. And I have all the options, darling. When you really have money, you do not need to prove anything to anyone. So, what to do with these bombshell revelations? If you have money like me, continue buying what makes you happy, but with awareness of what you are really paying for. If you are still on the journey to becoming rich, be strategic. Invest in durable pieces from honest brands that do not pretend to be what they are not. It is much better to have a beautiful bag from a local American brand, made with authenticity and transparency, than a cheap imitation of a luxury brand. The first demonstrates personality and intelligence. The second screams desperation and insecurity. It is like I always say about men. I prefer an honest one who admits his limitations than a liar who pretends to be what he is not. The same applies to brands and to people who consume them. A golden tip: research emerging brands created by talented designers who have not yet inflated their prices. Often, the quality is superior to established mega brands, and you will be investing in something with potential for appreciation. It is like buying stock in a promising startup before everyone discovers it. I have seen small brands that started accessible and today are considered luxury. Those who bought at the beginning not only saved money but now have exclusive pieces from old collections. That is truly being visionary. And remember, true power does not come from a label, but from how you manage your finances and your choices. When you understand that you can be rich, you will understand that you can do anything. And that includes not being a slave to logos when you do not yet have the means for it. I myself have luxury pieces not because I need to show status. Everyone already knows I am rich, but because I appreciate the quality, the design, and yes, the connections these brands provide me. And when I do not think it is worth it, I buy from smaller brands or have it custom made. Because I can choose. If you have not yet found your sugar daddy or millionaire boy, the way is to stay here with me and learn to be rich on your own. And the first step is to stop spending like you are rich while your bank account is still in the red. I know your dream was to have been born an heiress, but since that did not happen, be visionary. Invest your money in yourself, in your financial education, in assets that generate income. Later, when the money flows, you can buy all the bags you want, and they will taste much better because they will be the fruit of your success. If you are shaken by these revelations and want to learn more about how to navigate this world of luxury with intelligence, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and leave that like. I will teach you to be truly rich, not just to look rich. I left in the first pinned comment several links to rich products that will not leave you poor, because I do not bet because I prefer to be certain. And certainty, my dear, is intelligent investment, financial education, and freedom of choice. Comment: conscious luxury. If you understood the message and want more tips on how to consume with intelligence, this is Duchess Dollars, and until the next video, remember, being rich is not having everything you want. It is not needing everything you see.